So first thing you're going to do is you are going to register yourself as a business with your state. So in North Dakota Secretary of State, you're going to go on there, you're going to choose kind of your entity type. So you're either going to be a sole proprietor, an LLC, corporation. You're going to pick one of those. And then after you register, then you will go to the IRS website, get your EIN, and then from there, you would open up your own bank account with your business name and keep those items separate. So it's kind of going to depend on your size. So if you are just doing this kind of on the side, you're not really like, it's not going to be your full-time gig, you could just stay as a sole proprietor and that'd be totally fine. And then all you have to do is register as a doing business as. The benefit of that is you just use your social security number, everything's just runs through you as a person. The risk you run into with that is if, in photography, you probably don't have a lot of people suing you, but in other types of businesses, you might run into an issue where there's liability, and then you would want to have some sort of coverage, which is where the LLC comes in. The LLC is limited liability company, so it kind of separates you from the business and protects your personal assets. That's what I typically see. Most of my clients are either going to be an LLC or a corporation, and most of the times an LLC just makes more sense for them. Obviously, you're going to have more of the business planning, doing some budgets, doing some forecasts, figuring out what expenses you're going to need. Do you need funding for anything? Do you have to buy equipment? All of those logistical items are kind of what's next. Likely you've probably already thought of all those things when you were going to start a business, but that's kind of your time where you really sit down and put those numbers to paper or Excel or whatever you like to use. And then you really want somewhere where you're tracking your income and expenses, your customers, all those kinds of things. I usually recommend QuickBooks. It's kind of made for everybody and you can customize that the way that you want. But you can also use a simple spreadsheet. You can use your bank account if you really want to. So then you kind of set up your accounting for how you want to go forward. The nice thing with QuickBooks is then you can use input all of your clients in there, so you have their information. You can collect payment through QuickBooks, and it makes things really easy. You have, your email, your website, your accounting software. Are you going to have to replace equipment every so often? Those kinds of things. But basically, I like to kind of find your break-even point. So how much business do I have to bring in order to cover all of my costs? And then you kind of work in how much do you want to make? So at the end of the day, do you want to take home $5? Do you want to take home $5,000? And then adding that plus a little buffer for taxes. I usually recommend 20 to 30%. So that can help you with pricing, that can help you with knowing, okay, how many meetings do I need to set up? How many clients do I need every month? And then that will help you get an idea of what to project into the future. Yeah, I would definitely say the very minimum every month is to categorize all of your income and expenses, and then reconcile your bank account. So those would be the top two things that I would do every single month, is making sure that there isn't any mistakes. This will also help you if you maybe you forgot to bill a client, or maybe you bought something on your personal card that should have been on your business card. Doing it monthly, you're going to more likely remember to get those together. In QuickBooks, there's the reconcile your bank account feature, which the great thing with QuickBooks is it will connect to your bank and it'll pull everything in, and then you can just categorize from there. But if you're just doing your, say a spreadsheet and your bank account, you're just making sure that everything that came in and out of your bank account is also in your spreadsheet and just making sure that it all makes sense. So if your bank account says you have $50,000, you want to make sure that that's what came in and out, and that at the end of the day you have that $50,000, and you're just making sure anything outstanding on both sides match up. My biggest things is just do it. Stop thinking about it, and just do it. A lot of times you're gonna find out very quickly whether it's for you or not. And the only way you're gonna know is just start. And the way I see it is, worst case scenario, you start and you hate it, or you switch gears and you evolve into something else. You're gonna learn something by doing it. You might lose out on money or whatever, but you're also gonna not ruminate about doing this thing that you've been thinking about for 3 years, and you'll know it's either for me or it's not. So I would say just do it. Find people around you that support you. That's really important. Finding people who get it, because there are people who you're gonna say, I want to start this business, and they're gonna be like, you're crazy. Yep, that's okay. Most of us entrepreneurs are, so welcome to the club. Just do it, find a support system, and if you don't know how to do something, find someone who does, and meet with them, network, build. I can't stress enough, building those relationships is so important. And even if it's somebody that, isn't a prospect or anything, just building your community of, I have tons of people who are experts in tons of different industries, because I can't be an expert in everything, but I have people who I can reach out to that know all the things about banking or insurance or all these other things that I know this much. But building your network, building the people around you is going to help you so much. The biggest thing that I've learned is everyone's just trying to figure it out. And once you realize that super successful people also started where you started, they just weren't afraid to do it, and they just learned as they go. It makes everything seem almost too easy. So just go for it.